to Lewis Crocker.
Are the only options you're going to show him Catterall and Conor Walker? Because obviously you want to keep the belts, no?
But I'm hearing they say it's a real fight, but yeah, it's a real fight because both guys are getting in a fight. You know, I'm still the one that be thinking certain things are scripted as well, too. So, but
Joshua fight is just for showing the fight isn't going to go ahead. A lot of people kind of feel like that's the.
I hope not. If it is, then we don't know about it because we've signed a contract and we're deep in camp. I mean, one thing I know is Netflix have spent a fortune on the promotion, the production, the press conferences. So yeah, I have no doubt.
This is unbelievable, and Eddie Hearn is clearing things up at the perfect time. As the fight gets closer, rumors are everywhere, but Hearn makes it simple. This is not scripted and not a joke. Anthony Joshua would never risk his career for money. He believes he can win, and now the world has to wait and see.
You know, as the fight gets closer, more and more people are just thinking, is he really going to do this? And he'll look stupid if he doesn't now. And he's going to do it because, say, Roy Jones come out yesterday going, yeah, I think he can win. I mean, this wasn't a Tyson Fury line. This was Roy Jones actually being serious. And those kind of comments in Jake Paul's mind, he believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. So we're going to find out.
The idea being discussed is that Jake Paul will try to push forward and control the fight. It sounds bold, but it shows a lack of understanding. Pressing against Anthony Joshua invites danger. At heavyweight level, stepping in without respect for power can end a fight instantly.
For AJ, imagine this. I'm talking about a fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, and I'm saying Jake Paul's going to be the aggressor. That is mad, but it's true. I think he will be the aggressor against Anthony Joshua. And
Eddie Hearn is making it clear this is serious business. He explains that even without promoting the show, Anthony Joshua is fully focused. There is no joke, no circus, and no easy night planned. Joshua does not enter fight week lightly, especially when his name and reputation are on the line.
I mean, we're not promoting the show. As I said, we received an offer. Like when Taylor fought Serrano, obviously we're exclusive to DAZN. We had a deal with DAZN to allow AJ to take this fight. I'll be there promoting AJ. I won't be pushing.
Eddie Hearn is making it clear that Anthony Joshua is not risking his legacy for a gimmick or easy money. He reminds everyone that Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist and two-time unified heavyweight champion. The fight is serious, professional, and structured over 8 rounds. There is no secret contract or special arrangement. Joshua takes challenges to win, not to play games. And stepping into this ring is about proving his skill and authority at the highest level.
What do you say to the people who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight? Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
Eddie Hearn shuts down every idea of this fight being scripted or staged. He explains that Anthony Joshua would never hold back and that any suggestion otherwise underestimates his instincts and competitive nature. Joshua fights to win and dominates the ring naturally. Jake Paul may try to move or survive, but experience and power at this level leave little room for mistakes. Anthony Joshua sets the pace and enforces the fight from the first bell.
I get so many people can't speak. Yeah, but it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. 1, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. 2, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, Brian, give us 2, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get one shot round the arm and go on the floor. He's a tough guy.
Moses Itauma recognizes Jake Paul's progress and effort, but makes it clear that Anthony Joshua is in a completely different league. Being decent as a boxer is not enough to match an Olympic gold medalist and former heavyweight champion. Joshua's skill, power, and experience create a gap that cannot be bridged by confidence or YouTube fame. Respect alone does not change the reality that this is Joshua's territory, and Paul is stepping into the deep end.
I don't think anybody's expecting anything from Jake Paul. Like, he's fighting an Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. But this YouTuber, like, do you know what? You got to take your hat off to Jake Paul. He's done amazing. He's done very well. And even me, I don't think he's a bad boxer. You know, I actually think he's a decent boxer, but they're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony.
Adeola Depot predicts a swift and decisive outcome, showing confidence in Anthony Joshua's dominance. From the opening bell, Joshua controls the fight, leaving little room for Jake Paul to react. This reflects the real difference in class and preparation. Joshua's power and precision make the fight short and one-sided if Paul is unable to match the pace and experience in the ring.
Final predictions for the fight?
AJ will start the fight. The referee will say, come to the center of the ring. AJ will walk back. He will go over and knock out Jake Paul in about 45 seconds.
Tony Bellew highlights the massive size and strength difference between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Moving straight from smaller fights to facing someone like Joshua is unrealistic. Once gloves are on and the fight starts, the gap becomes obvious. Joshua's experience, skill, and physical power make it extremely hard for Paul to survive, showing that this challenge is far beyond what Jake Paul has faced before.
Anthony Joshua, who's now 5 inches bigger than you, maybe more, or 4 or 5 inches, and about 100 pounds heavier. You just don't go from there right up to there. I don't believe it. And I won't believe it until the two of them got 10-ounce gloves on in a boxing ring. Because if Anthony Joshua puts 10-ounce gloves on and gets in a boxing ring and Jake Paul is in the other corner, this won't last.
Sam Jones is warning of the real danger Jake Paul faces in the ring. While people treat this fight like a spectacle, the reality is Anthony Joshua's power is devastating. Comparing the impact to the one Joshua landed on Francis Ngannou makes it clear that Paul is stepping into a world of serious risk. Joshua's punches are precise and heavy, and any misstep by Paul could end the fight immediately. There is no room for mistakes or bravado, and this highlights just how serious Joshua is when he enters the ring against a less experienced opponent.
And we can all joke, but nobody wants any permanent damage to happen to Jake Paul. But if Anthony Joshua hits Jake Paul with the right hand he hit Francis Ngannou with, he could brown bread him.
Anthony Joshua is pointing out the contrast between traditional boxing and the rise of YouTubers stepping into professional fights. He respects the sport and its systems, highlighting the years of dedication it takes to reach his level. While Jake Paul has a profile and can generate attention, he cannot replace experience, Olympic pedigree, or professional preparation. Joshua's point is clear that hype does not equal readiness, and stepping into the ring against a seasoned champion like him exposes the gap between fame and real boxing skill, underlining why this fight is serious business.
What do you think about this trend of YouTubers entering the world of boxing?
I personally think it's really good. The boxing hardcores, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you're qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one.
Jake Paul is claiming confidence and seeing opportunities, but the reality of facing Anthony Joshua tells a different story. Even Paul admits this is by far his hardest opponent. His talk of holes and big shots ignores Joshua's power, size, and professional skill. Observers like Logan recognize it as insane, showing that even close allies doubt Paul's chances. Joshua is experienced, physically superior, and has faced elite fighters, leaving no margin for error. This commentary highlights the huge gap between confidence and reality, and shows that bravado alone cannot compete with Joshua's world-class boxing.
Do you think you're gonna knock him out?
Yeah, 100%. I see holes in his game where I can land a big shot.
Okay.
100%. It's gonna be a very, 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 very tough fight.
Do you think this is your hardest opponent?
Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I'm just outgunned in every category.
Logan, what do you think about him fighting Anthony Joshua?
I think it's insane.
Yeah,
I think it's insane. But there's a reason why he's Jake Paul, and like this is
what he does.
Yeah, like.
Anthony Joshua is making it clear that there is no comparison between himself and Jake Paul. This is not arrogance, but a statement of fact based on years of experience, skill, and achievement. Joshua recognizes the gap in ability and preparation and shows that Paul cannot match the level of a two-time heavyweight champion. The line is short but powerful, underlining dominance and confidence. Joshua does not need to argue because his record, Olympic gold, and world titles speak for themselves. Facing him is not just a challenge, it is a stark reality check for anyone stepping into the ring unprepared.
You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day!
Eddie Hearn is cutting through the hype and putting the fight into perspective. Anthony Joshua is entering the ring to dominate, and there is no illusion about it. Jake Paul may be called a boxer sometimes, but he is not world-class and is completely out of his depth. This fight is a simple way for Joshua to work with his team, sharpen his skills, and remind the world of his true level. Money and profiles are secondary. Joshua's focus is on proving his superiority and maintaining his career trajectory. Period.
AJ's going in there to destroy him.
Sometimes people want to call him a professional boxer. When it suits them, they want to call him a YouTuber. The reality is, he is a professional boxer. He's nowhere near world class, and he's well out of his depth against Anthony Joshua. This is a straightforward bank job, and it's just going to allow AJ to gel with his new team. The profile's fantastic, the money's great, and then normal business will be resumed in 2026.
Anthony Joshua is leaving no doubt about his mindset heading into this fight. He is focused, driven, and determined to assert dominance from the first punch. Comparing the situation to Andy Ruiz 2.0 shows how seriously he approaches threats and how careful he is to maintain control. Joshua wants action, not words, proving that real champions demonstrate their abilities in the ring. Jake Paul may generate hype and attention, but Joshua's experience, power, and tactical intelligence create a scenario where every move is calculated. This is a fight where Joshua's hands speak louder than any talk or bravado, leaving no room for error.
If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to break his face, I'm going to break his body up, I'm going to stomp all over him.
Yeah, I mean, look at the last time they came to America and what the plans they had were. Andy Ruiz stopped that. So this is Andy Ruiz 2.0. It's a massive mistake to look past this, seriously. I'm knocking this guy out, becoming the CEO of Matchroom Boxing and changing the plans, and it's gonna be me versus Tyson Fury next year.
He wants to fight rather than talking. Be about it, don't talk about it. You've got something to say and you need to prove yourself in boxing. The best way to do it is to let your hands go. So yeah, for me personally, you didn't see much talking from me. We come up here and we do the talking in the ring.
David Haye is emphasizing the massive physical difference between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Even if Paul gives his maximum effort, he is at a fraction of Joshua's level. The sheer size, reach, and strength advantage makes a clear statement about the gap in ability. Standing next to Joshua shows not only height and weight differences, but also the years of training and conditioning that separate a seasoned champion from a rising influencer. This fight is not just about skill, but about presence and power. And Joshua's complete physical dominance gives him an enormous advantage even before the first punch is thrown.
Jake Paul can come 15-20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other.
Jake Paul is openly acknowledging the danger Anthony Joshua presents. He knows Joshua has faced legends and delivered devastating knockouts in seconds. Even with confidence in his own ability, Paul recognizes the threat and admits fear. This highlights the real difference in experience and power. Joshua's history against top heavyweights shows he is a finishing fighter, capable of ending fights quickly. Paul's admission of being scared is telling, as mental readiness is crucial at this level. Joshua's presence in the ring is intimidating, and even the bravest challengers must account for the sheer threat of his power and precision.
Fights that have literally ended in seconds. He fought legends: Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
Biggest shot I have seen live.
I'm not gonna lie.
Areola Depot highlights the massive size and physicality gap between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Even though Paul is a big man and well-conditioned, Joshua's size, weight, and strength create a Goliath versus David scenario. This is not just about skill, but the natural advantage of a world-class heavyweight. Paul may carry confidence and technique, but the ring respects power and presence. Joshua's enormous stature allows him to control distance, deliver heavier shots, and dominate exchanges. This commentary underscores why Joshua's physical superiority is a critical factor in how the fight will play out from the first bell.
Jake Paul is the bigger in this equation. Not for me. Maybe for MVP, Nikisa, Jake Paul, but not for me. I've kind of marked it or titled it David versus Goliath just because of the size difference. Like, Jake Paul's a big guy. He is. He's 6'1", 220, probably fights around, the 200-pound mark. AJ is an enormous guy. Like, he's a big, big unit. And I think Jake realized that when they came face to face. I don't know if that's the first time they've ever come that close. I'm sure they've met behind the scenes, but I think there was a realization from Jake Paul, like, fuck, this is a big dude. It's a very, very big dude who isn't coming to play. Like, there was no play with AJ.
David Adeleye is stressing that Anthony Joshua's power is often underestimated. People see his technique and skill, but fail to appreciate how destructive his punches can be. Hitting harder than expected is a dangerous combination with Joshua's accuracy and experience. For Jake Paul, this is a real concern, because one clean shot could decide the fight instantly. Adelaye's insight shows that Joshua is not just a skilled fighter, but also a physical threat capable of ending fights quickly. The combination of speed, timing, and raw power makes Joshua a level far beyond what Paul has faced.
He hits harder than people expect, I think. I think a lot of people, obviously, they pick up on his boxing and how good of a boxer he is, but he hits harder than people expect.
Derek Chisora is confident that Anthony Joshua will make this fight look easy. He points out that Joshua will not take it lightly or hold back at any point. This is not a sparring session. It is a serious test of skill and power. Chisora recognizes that Joshua's experience and strength are overwhelming for Jake Paul. Calling it an easy fight reflects the reality that the gap in class is immense. Joshua controls the ring, enforces his will, and forces Paul into situations he cannot handle. This commentary reinforces that Joshua's dominance is inevitable, and the outcome is highly predictable.
Easy fight for him, and I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's gonna go in and try and pat. AJ's gonna smoke.
The build-up to this fight has been unlike anything we've seen in recent heavyweight history. Anthony Joshua steps into the ring not just as a former champion, but as a fighter with Olympic gold, world titles, and the kind of power that can end fights in seconds. Every prediction, every comment from Eddie Hearn, David Haye, Tony Bellew, and others points to one thing. Joshua's experience, size, and skill create an almost insurmountable gap. Jake Paul may bring confidence, hype, and energy, but he faces a man who lives and breathes the sport at the highest level. Mentally, Joshua is stronger, more focused, and fully prepared to dominate. If Joshua wins, he reinforces his legacy and reminds the world why he's a true heavyweight force. If Paul somehow shocks the world, it would be monumental, but the odds are stacked heavily against him. Are you backing Anthony Joshua, or is Jake Paul pulling the upset? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate.